Osofo.
Yes, sir.
Apomwe.
We are madam. I also want to say.
I'm madam. Me am say wa bread, ma pe wa che. U free you buy on home kra.
Evending.
Say bibia woko there.
We are madam.
Obusuafo bia want to say.
Obi ahoye pa. Mo so mo there.
We are ahoye.
We don't know what shall say ho adwuma. Oye bibio.
Eguso for pa botechi. Aha, ti enuanu we there a new program I started. Your friend of the Preachers Lounge. You per se a Church of Christ as for normally you should any more life. And near my cost of my brabum the integral mobile as a pacafo in nim say your friend say the intina mobile as a pacafo. You perceive bisa so for no program way a new program yes shall say a no Bronx I say. Na yene asempakafo bebre na betwetwe ho nkomo na sembakani Shadrack Oppong ene nemenya no ha sei ufri Memphis aba besrain na yempese obekọ cause ne kwa no wa entino ena yenya no e wo se ye ne no etena se ni di nkomo ni busa abrabo mu enkomo osofo na bibia wako de
Yes.
na abrabo mu zo e
Already adum eguso.
Yo they say who here for Gaza
Memphis School of Preaching.
Nice.
Tennessee.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then oh yeah,
oh okay. Memphis School of Preaching here. Church of Christ School. Forest Hill Church of Christ. And omo a supervisor. Now edited and for I mean it has been there for about over 60 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think somewhere 1960s or
okay.
And almost started and almost to some comfort be yeah.
Now, unkwa only Ghana near what for na.
Yes, for the school not dear. So far the first Ghanaian.
Wow.
Marco Memphis School preach.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Then you may say. Now also for near me can you you perceive whom as a pakafo munchi. Behind the scenes, we know say always you was a paka for a preaching, teaching, and you know, near a year safoma in you be see a down the dimas of my whom would you may dear moody.
Okay,
but as I never shall say no, one gets a heifer now free.
All right, me free a fijasi, asante a fijasi.
Okay,
inti ufa a juso, no could jabbing. No coffee jazz. I want to free.
Okay. Do what take a so.
Yeah, I mean, me can say kumawu kwan so.
Okay.
Inti ufri jabe na oko efijase.
Oh, okay. Ti a honey wo na.
David e wo me kumase.
Okay.
Actually, ye frefijase die ne nso so no. Me nana na owo ye no. Eko ware wa aguna.
Oh, okay.
Krobi wo ho friend bedmase.
Okay.
Inti eho na me ma me no mu ne ni nua no mu nyina no ye wo mu.
Okay.
Na me ma me ware yo ba kumase. Inti no kumase na me so me ni nua no
efi
ye wo
mu. Na kumase yen for pote
tafo.
Oh, that.
Yeah, tough. Papa, yeah, your body this join the fee.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Say John fee.
Say John what push your full fee.
Nice.
Tough a year.
Market
nature, exactly. The honor, your woman.
Wow.
And in I mean, yes, I call your class or cotton for some time.
Okay.
Into a hokra na me started school way there but I want to make a school you say be able to some
yeah
I want to make a school kakra so
eti ye wo wotafo no and umuvu kakra na uma me mama say
for
yeah okay remember saying na ma say
me kwam na me be e ma 3
so who say una told that 2 year the kakra go be free
who's it to me
2 year the kakra 2 year the kakra
well me mommy's side, like on my mom's side, no, and I'm a war like in your man miensa.
Okay.
But my papa's side, yes, 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, papa, I mean, my two papa D.
Yeah.
Sikasem.
Yeah.
I
know
know
they are phobia,
yes.
Perhaps may have known him
because
no,
no,
a driver.
Oh, okay.
He was once a much popular.
Right. Was he well to do?
Yep.
Yeah.
My dad had a lot of money, but with time, no, I think they will see a lot of money. I mean, we don't call us 17, and I say, "Yo, Baba." If my mom had 4,
exactly.
They say my dad married about 3 women.
Wow.
And on worry and kasa.
Okay.
But only 4 women so we.
Okay.
Inti about best 4 women and
wow.
Only
okay. Now, what can we be all free now? School so it's saying what school I say we're here.
Well, interesting. Well, me, I think say Mr. T school famous.
Okay, famous. Yes.
But I know it was more like crèche, like a nursery. I know the Miyagas man, but I remember say near school that area.
Famous. Okay.
And then I moved to Agona, but I knew Agona, but a remote village.
Okay.
I hold on in Kana because it's just one building be a shame and also one building shame. So we moved back to the village and then I started school at Kena LA.
Okay.
Kena Ofree. Agona now call a year in Krasian Krona Shishona. Baby, we free Kandapa.
Okay.
Hey, Titrim
free there, but okay.
Tis at Titrim Quine, for Agona go Titrima. A grassy bishet, a whole my fro, Kena.
Kena, bro, for dear, like you,
a Kena, and I walk
Bible, we know what they are to close to a Ghana.
Good, it's also phobia, a friend who did for Kena, or different or something like that. To know the teacher is a crown, it was more like Empire Bobbia.
Okay.
But a crassy, a beho.
All right.
Because our teacher crown into almost at a basic school, home. Into Benimini girl, the Mimi Dinachin.
And never that back on
Sewa. Into Sewana, men and call whole school. Okay. Estate. I think say Hono, Saturn by school near started free cage. Near near nursery, Nissan and my nothing. KG, free KG, any KG, 1 KG to the free KG. Now go class 1. Aha. Inti Nami Sewano KG. Nami new time is a school. By the medical can because school and person. And then she moved to class 1 and they wanted to repeat me in KG because Minyan fear as I'm called class 1. But my penny and I'm call class 1. Me call class 1 first step and I'm good first.
Wow.
It's be first or honors and it's only yeah, and I think they call Canaan.
Okay.
Me call KG, P1, P2, P3. Yeah, the P3 na me mami. I can't say na me difference me difference na my sister also 3. Now there was a lady B
in the middle.
In front of comfort. Although we are dying. On also 2. Now my sister also 3.
Wow.
And my mom said so school
needed a change.
We are the anchor me first and we
me don't trust you.
No, she was not trusting. It's not about me, it was about the school.
The school, okay.
She thought say if the school was very competitive, at least it can be first.
Always the same 3 people.
Exactly. Okay. So she moved us to Krobi. Krom Kasan. Okay. Bedmase. Into Bedmase and me nana, me papa, me mama, me papa. Then because me na nano move for figure say ba bedmase. The bedmase ho no e agona bedmase na. Oh yeah, e can say. Obe worry me na nano.
Okay.
And omo akura ase and ekotan. So we moved to bedmase no.
Okay.
More like a Kurano there.
Yes.
We have it's a town.
Right.
Now it's a town, it's not
right.
it's a village.
Okay.
Until the Hono numbers call bedmase early. And also we call class 4, class 5. Me move out class 6. And I'm saying no. I also so me the first total. So I think there was a kind of competitive kakra because I had one guy being a friend of Uche. I think he went to University of Cape Coast.
Okay.
Or no. And I'm not competing.
Okay.
But by then my sister was dropping.
Oh.
Like no quite.
Yeah.
But no. And then my mom says, nah, still, that school is not
up to par.
It's not up to that point of he said.
Right.
She needed that competitive school, so she moved us to. At that time now, I think that she started going to the church, so she moved us to Aguna.
Okay.
Which is more like a district capital. Like it is the district capital.
Yes.
Into or moving into Aguna. The Aguna SDA primary.
Okay.
The Hona me call class 6. Into before class 5 I make class 6 ewa bedmase wo hampene.
Okay.
And we move into Aguna SDA.
Okay.
The ho and I think my first term me toss 16. and then my mom says, fail public school. And so that was what actually happened. And then I moved from Aguna Primary to the JHS.
Wow.
Near friend JHS at that time. But even though a SD primary to the JSS, they run the JSS separately.
Yes.
It is a free primary one. They don't admit you straight into the JHS.
It was a tough skills.
Yes. Okay.
From class 1 to 5, it's
class 6
separately. Because 6, 6 free
JSS.
Government not take you over.
Okay. But each of the schools
were government run.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they run separately.
Okay.
It is a free primary school. You can't come straight away to JHS.
Yes.
You have to write entrance exams.
Yeah.
And they allow all other schools to also come
to participate.
Yes. Yeah, that was what happened.
Okay.
And then I went to Aguna SDA JHS. So I completed there.
Okay. Till who be JSS and SS no kone.
SHS we SS no. I think that was 2001. Yeah, the year 2001.
Okay.
And my sister Penny had married. Yeah, okay. Maybe it's not worry for. And then she said, me better nchen.
Okay.
Enti me better nchen more like a waiting result. Enti me started call magazine.
Okay.
That time I think they need a few almost like about 6 months or so. Enti me call magazine. Ekusia lining. Said you see pump car seats.
Wow.
Yeah. Enti I don't remember how we do it, but meaning say a fat car seater line way say no when you're line way. I can tell you how it is done, but I'm not sure you can actually do it.
Yeah, because you didn't master it.
Yeah, okay. I mean I think I was there for almost like 4 or 5 months.
Oh wow!
And then I had admission at Asantemai. Into Asantemai, my dad says, okay, when you admission, made the person I don't want you to go to school.
Why?
Because they'll be yes, career home.
Satam not sick as summer before.
No, Satam not before. But she was working with a mining company by then.
Okay.
No, you're a driver. And then
but then with the magnitude of kids,
I mean the point at that time I'm the last born.
Okay.
on my dad's side.
Okay.
To 17 in Krano. It's more like Minia Bako, ya bosso. I don't know whether I mean I'm a chain kakra now, I'm a chain kakra, but yes, sir.
On it with a different mom.
With a different mom,
okay.
Yeah. A friend or a year, Jeremiah.
Okay.
Ain't he? No, and he's more like on me a way. So my dad didn't want me to go to school. He wanted. Now it made sense per what he wanted me to do.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm gonna say, so the moko to adwuma obetua me teens and once. What that's it. But as in school every term metia school fees into no. He says main kosua adwuma, and I said no way.
Yeah.
I'm going to school. I was well. Maticrasi be immediate. Say immediate. How are you going to pay your fees? And I'm saying I'm a better. So I was okay. And yeah, or about the fees now or demanding ebeba. Maybe
wow.
For almost like 2 months. Into school and I guess I think in either August or September. No? After or buy and on somewhere November. Yeah, I think somewhere in November. Until now, admissions are there. Asante mai, median free mo.
Oh.
And then more faculty. Adas, Bantama SD school now. But the school I'm a pepper and be quite SD.
Oh wow.
Because SD school, and I'm self SD school.
Yeah.
But my mom said no, I can't want to do it hold the company. And that's where I decided to go to Asante Mine. But I also saw finally me papa buy and I say admission entry. And sometimes when a government posting
no, I know.
One I'll
copy school.
Until then I feel nice a fee for 1 year. And obi be catch say oh omo to school fufuro bi e wo Tafun Shire so there be Tafun Shire so.
Oh wow.
Tafun Shire so Assemblies of God for school bi. And then we went for that way. To me call and say yeah, a new school and I want admit me.
Okay. And
then that's where I went to school.
Wow.
School in the Faith Assemblies of God Secondary School.
FASEC.
Yes. Omo egusa say secondary school be well, I had a lot of friends from Prempeh College. And most of the time you see me among Prempeh College guys. And Misako Shiamu University grad and I say a lot of people think that I call Prempeh College, but I'm called Prempeh. I call
FASEC. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, it is from FASEC.
From FASEC, maybe 2004. Maybe secondary school 2004.
Okay.
And then still, my dad was not interested to like help me pursue like to cultural idea or graduate. So my graduate.
Oh yeah, minimum.
Yeah. Half
assembly
school.
Assembly.
Oh,
okay. I graduate Pentecostal.
Yeah.
Yes,
Pentecostal idea home. And no, I think I graduate in Pentecostal no. I graduate in LA. Government school be an Ben Pentecostal, but I'm a child of Pentecostal.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I was also at the same time I was also working at 2 other places. Now I'm here Jumama Jet FM.
Yes, I remember.
And I'm sorry Jumama Met Insurance. Until I was working at 3 places at the same time from 2004 to 2006 there.
Okay.
And 2000 and until I moved here, 2006 and me and Papa Paul Oppong, Sofo Paul Oppong. I can't say, and then my main uncle pay a crime tech. Can you see them go?
Okay.
Maybe through that, no. menya admission. So me koye adwuma wo finance office, KUST finance office.
Oh, okay.
From 2006 to 2007. To that year, no, I'm a top form. But you see, I had never bought a friend saying KUST forms. Because I'm person could UCC, na me become.
Okay.
But I may apply
a month
for me. No, I don't think my results was that bad. Because I remember I had 5 A's.
5 A's in a one.
Yeah, I had 5 A's, 1 B, 1 C, 1 E.
Wow.
I don't want you to ask me which one did I get E.
I know that it's not gonna be math.
Yeah, no, I had 4 A's in my electives, accounting, management, costing, and then economics. I had all A's. I had commerce A, then I had 5. And then I had science.
Okay.
B. Is it science or social?
So it's English now.
I know they mean to wow share. Nah, it's I think said because of that until can be great in the boom one. Now I was getting I think about is it 10?
I mean,
I agree 10 or so.
I'm
you don't remember. Yeah. So basically that is what happened.
Okay.
Course now me penal. They always gave me management instead of become. But now me pay become until I decided to say I'll try something else. Until I say KUSC a business administrator. I think almost started 2 years and I may apply.
Okay.
To business administration and may apply in normal economics.
Okay.
And then I decided to say economics there. Okay. Until me call me boss. Now that time my boss they elder
Jankes.
There okay, no, my boss, but they know a main boss say Kingsley.
Okay.
Until Oppong Kingsley do and I can say why do I want to do business administration? I'm saying that's the course I want. Because I want to do accounting.
Okay.
And I say, well, accounting create now. On the bad advice I should do economics. So one of economics I should do it. And so that's how come I ended up at KUSC.
Okay.
And I started economics tech.
Yo, school no NC one. I know say
I mean after that na me hear me MBA.
MBA so MBA is no UST one.
Yeah, me MBA tech.
Okay. Okay. Now we say all in some our Kenya actually madness in India. Mission till a certain age.
Yeah.
Because out of nowhere I mean
yeah.
But from the beginning now you are sorry no. Now you were not in the picture.
No. I think I came in after some JHS. And me kai say me bedru ye no na ma boss. And ma sa nkwa Sunday school no there. That time me be a brother. I didn't go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. It's year ben our boss. Well, first of all, then I'm who sorry.
Well, sorry no. I think it's time me catch us na me ma meeting. Kumasi, and then she moved back to the village. The time of Kumasi no. She was living with Onuni Inuya. Me and my mini Inuya. So she was
Richard Mame.
Yes.
Okay.
So my mom was living with her kid sister. Inti all free. A friend saying, "Ye free Kumasi no. Na yako village no. Wa manan Kobi." So she stayed.
Okay. And
she was married to Oppong
Godfred
Mafo. Enti ono ena oba church no. Oni ni kunu eba church no.
Okay.
And then she says, well, so no, I be Christian need your pese, Niniana or dinner bar, Kumasi, and so the baby Christian. So they said, I think Tafo Church, you know, so that time, no, edit, and you animal be a small bar, ye village, that is. El Curano, and yet, but Domasi was a hero. Bedumasi, and yet, but Masino cry. The cane, exactly. The Honon Bay preaching that day, and then I think I was a small boy. I don't remember the day my mom got baptized, but I know say my mom then started going to church.
Okay.
But when you look at the place, I need a tunnel. That's in the field, in the bush in Ankasa. Now say, or say, or the Yemba, and the church was not in Bedmas. The church was not in Kenya. The church was in Agona.
Nice. That's far.
This Okase or the year bar. That is more like about 100 miles.
Oh wow!
So it was not possible. So between the area.
That's deep.
Abba. So what they were doing is say, on Ankasa on 90, almost like 30 miles and son or could do Kwang in your car or the Babaguna. So on to me for every Sunday. So she was the only one going on to see move to the town I Bedmaseno. And then she started going with us.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think around that time crying a man who said, okay, we'll be the man cry Kwaguna SD any. So a ho and many like me church, you know. But I remember when we were kids, we kept complaining. Say, sorry, we did Jehovah because you're quite almost watching it and see. And then I think say we had that kind of inferiority complex, you know, so kakra because and Kolane were in the more like the capital town. No more near big
civilized.
You mingle with them in the Sunday school and say you don't know. Yeah. So personally I wasn't comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, being there.
Yeah.
But we were there for some time and then we started by going SD, you know. Now for your name Sankwalana the school.
Okay.
I think I was even I no moved Dimechi. So we were more like getting used to them.
Yeah.
And then that's how I come in anybody church and home and then I got baptized in Agona.
Okay.
So before I came to Kumasi to start my secondary school education, now I had already been baptized.
Wow. And yeah, it all makes sense. Now, TNT na u baba ye osempakani asana yebeko hono Now before say ye kono na maybe say TNT na u baba ye osempakani.
Well, so I'm kind when I got to Tafo Church, I developed the interest of evangelizing, not necessarily becoming a preacher. No, I never had any interest of becoming a preacher. As in preaching regularly for a church or being at a church. But I had the interest of preaching. And time when we school, SHS no. Sometimes SS and that Paul Pong started say Uyusui in a lot of things. Into a T committee na Makokan was a mayor secretary. Dynamic church so I had that kind of a lot of leadership ideas into when he started the school, and I mean the school was already there, but when school started to progress, and then I was working with Jet FM and I told him, hey, let's
do a jingle.
So I did all those adverts and jingles for Tafo Church and all that. And then we did a lot of programs like Fortify the Faith, lectureship, and all that. And Emma Mimbenya a lot of interest in defending the faith. So when I went to school, Miko University, there was a campus church there.
Yes.
The campus church, and I became a rep in my hall, Independence, or the best hall. The best hall.
I thought the unity there.
Oh, no. Ekura, and Omocha, Kronankasa Moisha. Kronankasa, Independence Hall.
But
in this hall, when I was a rep, and then later on, maybe the electoral commissioner for the church, because the church need a lot of elections. Church
campus.
I mean, at that time, that was what was going on. In what they do now. But I was the electoral commissioner, and then one brother a deputy secretary to evangelism, and would differ in the course. So we needed somebody to replace. And the leadership thought, say, I should double up. So I was the only person being
the EC board
chair and then being the deputy evangelism secretary. With that work, name leadership work, a lot of things. So at that time we did a whole lot of things. We did Congress, and then we friend of students conference.
And then Coxu.
Okay. So we did that Coxu. We did student symposium. Okay, maybe we'll picture beer. So that time we now call very good. That's it.
Yeah.
That picture, I have photos on that picture, that was the student symposium where you organized it.
Yes.
And then all the say yes, I know. It built my interest.
Yes.
It built my interest in church management and preaching.
Okay.
But around that time, the issue of amount for Mupe headquarters name way number. And I remember we had a discussion in leadership, and then they brought one preacher more like to come and defend why they think they should have headquarters for the church and all
those things. Okay.
And then I stood up against it. To make Kasaya, and at that time, because of TAFU program, Bible Yesiana did not say in Bibi Kakra. And then I remember one guy told me, so I should shut up and sit down. Nah, or more Bible school, no, so for now, Bible school, in our Kasa. Oh, say,
I thought of
oh, then I only more say. So that challenged me to go to the Bible school.
Okay.
Because Seneca Bible school be na me Kasa there, then you cannot tell me, say, I don't know what I'm talking about. So I never went to the Bible school to become a preacher.
Okay.
So that was the first thing. And then the second thing was thinking about church and so I prayed a lot about it, and I was thinking so much about it. And I'm discussing with my closest friend, Prince Adadi.
Okay.
And I'm can't wait and I'll say, yeah, almost I dream one, I do feel say, I see a cool school, I'm saying, yeah, so we told your dad, say, that I per se, you call Bible school, you university. I said, wow, that's a great idea. And I'll be a question books, I hold on, church books, you school, better, and then we applied to the Ghana Bible College.
Okay.
And at Bible College, for say, I'm on fire.
Why?
Nah. Guy B. A Bible school and also a science student. At that time, new school. I think they were third year.
Okay.
And also guy no Bible school no. Or on fact Bible College course no serious because we a student of university. And also I on fact Bible school they are serious.
Okay.
And decided say they are not going to admit any student.
All right.
So at that time, I said, yeah, abandon. I don't know. So he ready. I think 2 years later, that was from 2009 to 2011. You re-invested, and they organized it. They tired public preaching and evangelism outreaches na ade nti ye call back bi e wa putuja. So during that time in teachings the way seem handle na man ade na woman bi or Bible school no small putuja friend sister Pamela.
Okay.
No librarian at the Bible school. And then she says, no, these guys should be at the Bible school. And then on the busa, I said, so why don't you apply to the Bible school? I said, I apply one for a year. And also, no, wait there. Monsambra. Into the forms are that's a sign my a
Bible college. You know.
We did not apply for. I mean, we don't use different forms. All 2 years forms, no.
Okay.
And we see and they admitting
wow.
into the Bible school.
Okay.
And I remember during the Bible school time, and minya juma, pro credit. So bank be a German bank be in Ghana. Okay. So whilst I was working at the bank, I was still at the school. Okay. To me, real school. No, my intention was not to become a preacher, but I love preaching, and so I just want to preach wherever I get the opportunity to preach.
Yes.
But to also defend the faith in whichever way a bit sorry no ejina.
Yes.
Until becoming a preacher, it's a long story.
It is.
Maybe Bible school there, but I wasn't taking any church be as a preacher now there. Because at that time I'm in Bible school no, around that time and a Jumana they sold it. The German company Pro Credit sold it to Fidelity Bank. Okay. Until we were all absorbed into Fidelity Bank. And then I was transferred from Kumasi to Sunyani. Okay. So me was Sunyani no, I think I did about 1 year there and training now me call bank me call training for about 6 months in Accra. Okay. Nti Accra na me call small road. Nti me sumu no. And at one time I think say Bible teacher be either so late and I said no name so chira. And then yakota na oma. And I made them started saying me check class. So started teaching the class. And then me check class no say no. And obeto so. And I'll say, yes, okay, teacher, but I was no, go ahead. No, class. And then I taught the class. So I said, me for him. Because I was a new person there. And I'm trying so me for come and I almost told the elders, said, oh, new guy be by, he's very good. And then the elders said, okay, I didn't know I won't go Bible school. Na yes and I said, oh, I'm already there.
Yeah. So, Yemfa Ehono is your name chair on Brassis here. Tiosofo. What child dear class out teacher ni now ma. And
Bible late.
Oh, you're late. And he saw how impressive you are.
Yeah, I mean maybe.
And I'll recommend my elders. You know?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how the news got to the elders.
Okay.
One of the elders came to me and said, I want to say before Kumasi and I'm a child here. I didn't think I'm in Bible school. And I'm already there.
Okay.
I'm so oh, great. And they say we are over yes and Pakeni or her. Now you cry a person Pakeni.
Wow.
And I'm so nah. Because I mean I've already told you I never wanted to be a preacher.
Yes.
And you know, I can't show him say, okay, well there, let's keep in touch. Nah, maybe if I change my mind. Until when I was done with my training, I went back and then I graduated from the school.
Okay.
Interestingly, when I was in Accra for the 6 months, I was still at the Bible school.
Okay. So wait, how were you doing that?
So any chance be I rush back to Kumasi. It was not my classes, no evening classes. I think I missed some classes, but I tried say courses are ASM panel, meeting my back. Until when I graduated from the Bible school, around that time, actually they posted me to senior. So they called, say, my school, and I'm saying, yeah. And I was then, why don't I come and preach? I said, well, I don't know. I don't want to preach at any church. And later on, friends, so I'm crying, I'm open up for people to apply. So I'm person apply.
Okay.
And so okay. So I did apply, but not with the intention of just becoming. But my intention was just my intention was just to apply to please them, so that at the end of the day, better to say, okay, send me apply, but my day, so that I can because I really didn't want to be a full-time preacher or
what do you call it?
A minister of the gospel. Not a teacher. No. I had no intention of, because in all my aspiration, I had been aiming at becoming BOG boss, Bank of Ghana boss, or work at the World Bank or IMF. So that was my dream. And when they told me to apply, I did apply. And that time I'm planning to get married. Okay. So they called for an interview, I think around September there. Okay. In 2015? I think so. 2015. So 2015 and on me call interview. So when I went for the interview, I met about 4 other preachers also applied. Okay. And I was shortlisted. To me, the question be, I remember.
I'm trying to imagine how a software interviews it here, because I remember that free telephone. I had a glimpse of it. It was like a panel, and they were asking questions.
Yeah.
And but what kind of questions are they going to ask?
Well, they ask several things.
Okay.
But in my case, I had about close about 9-member panel.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And into Omubusa, question on church management, question on doctrine, questions on personal aspirations, question on marriage and family life. And I remember
doctrinal, nothing like that.
Yeah, like I already mentioned, doctrinal questions. And then they ask of I think social issues and all that. So they asked me a question about church management, and then I told them, say, my concern is the case. And I gave them some analysis about why people get to the university and they don't want to be in the church. And I was telling them, like, when you look at, and I think it still exists in a way, when you look at the education system in Ghana, Accra 9 years to somewhere 12 years not over a primary school side. At least around 11, 12, no GHS. Which means that time if we GHS and that's when we try to be serious with doctrinal things and all that. But GHS, the system is saying that's 3 years is packed with so many things. The Accra focus your friend is saying SS when your SS papa. Inti GHS 3 years say more intimi chrem the person that time one. We GHS pet no SS a boarding school for 3 years.
That's it.
Free boarding school ebeduru fie 3 months or 4 months. No university. University via obeba vacation. We university then you are posted out to baby for the national service. We national service or juma. So when you look at this, now I can say oh train makwala no
when you know
na wa chere no doctrine me teachings na there. What happened is you would have lost a year the person. A lot of people don't mean so mo ba na be kwa SSA and say they bosu no more bosu, but they have no idea about the teachings and all that. That was what was happening. So I told them, said, this is the problem I see, and when I come, that's what I want to tackle.
Nice.
But unfortunately, I don't think I did that. Okay. Because when I became a preacher, there was so many things that I had to handle. Wow. So many things. But now I am still working on getting a curriculum that will help, shape near my man, even right from day one at Kranaba Sunday School, so that obeyini na obeko obedu Jesus no in doctrine and that. Yes. They may not understand them fully, but they will know. Say this is what happened. There are a lot of things here, man. They know them, but they don't understand them. And as they grow, they get to know them. And I told them that it's okay. But I had a lot of penifo, and they were called. Say, Abrante way. And I'm come to confess something there. Okay. During the time I may apply, now I had some, I don't know, some kind of personal issues or doctrinal issues with some people. Okay. And I told you I didn't want to become a preacher. Yes. So what I did, they said, me use this microphone as my reference. Wow. My expectation was they will say, I'll call when I'm over preacher. So they will say things about me that will, prevent them from, accepting. Exactly. So that was my mindset. Okay. But I don't know what happened. It's like I don't know what they told them, but it looks like the Omo rather, push the panel to say, this is the guy we want you to employ. Wow. And when I was there, around November 2015, they told me, said they are working on it. I'll hear from them soon. In December, and I'm worried. Wow. So I got married on 26 December 2015. When I got married in December 2015, the following year, next year, 2016, 3rd January, and I'm the letter. Oh, so just like about 6 days of 7 days. Oh yeah, it's me worry and all that. We bad. No way. I'm not going to do this. Because I wanted to hear from them, so we are sorry, we have to give the job to a different person. Yeah. But it says, at this point, were you being a Paul? No, but honestly, when it came, I started thinking about finding a different strategy to quit. I mean, to say no. Yeah. So initially, so now Edin come about. I mean, me and me be Warren. Edin come say microphone makom interview. She knew it. Yes. But she wasn't happy for us to move to Accra. Right. I said Accra she don't know. Oh, so she lived in Kumasi with you. She lived in Kumasi. Oh, okay. And then she was living in her house. And I'm to say nothing about. I mean, not with you, but into your worry, And then when by no, they can I express concern. I know you're interested in moving to Accra, and then also she complained about being a preacher's wife in a big congregation like in Sound Road. Yes. So she said no. I knew she said no. Yeah. And then I had an opportunity to hide behind her. Exactly. So me koi at that time I think my master's thesis every into me koi and say, yeah. And so I wrote for the letter about for me semi preacher.
Offer letter.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think it's a good idea because they say maybe my masters. If I graduate and I send my certificate and my credentials to your bank, they'll promote
Promotion.
me into no. And this bank, I was at that time, I think I was the fourth in command.
Oh.
Because now I'm a branch operation officer. We operation officer. We have the branch manager, BSSM. We have the BOS, and then we have the your friend said the relationship manager, and then from the relationship manager. So me and saying you are the
okay.
next person.
So you were very comfortable.
And I knew say I was going to rise to a branch manager level. I mean, and it happened when I left. All the colleagues and tell us no money. Almost all of them are now in managerial positions in the bank. Me catch up say, so you see, be a my MBA, AVA, now maybe I don't think I have to go and preach because you're a preacher, there's no promotion to become a senior preacher.
Couldn't you juggle the two? Say, wait me a software, no keep position.
That's my point. So I wanted to just be the normal preacher. I'm preaching.
No, I'm saying is being a pulpit minister
and then a banker
at the same time.
Somebody can do it, but me personally, no. If I am doing something, I give my all.
Okay.
I give my all. It is likely said, either say bank, will use me so much so that I will not be able to do my best at the church, or I will do my best at the church and it will affect my work at the bank.
Yes.
And he decided to say I will not go into preaching at all.
Okay.
So me catch all that I was waiting for was just one thing. For my wife to say, yeah, we crowd the way anymore. That was all that I was waiting for. And if she had said that,
yes,
then my reply to the church, would have been say, I'm sorry, I mean, for several reasons, personal reasons, and my marriage, I don't want to. To be kind, I made it to a show. I remember that day very well.
Wow.
My wife was just looking at me, we'll see the tea.
So, but
I'll say, hey, they said, one mom also power into in your preacher because why a masters. Do you go you should be a Jesus?
So, Peter will always official.
Yes, the masters, you think, say,
exactly.
Unqualified to be a preacher, and as a preacher, so yes, sir. So Kofi,
that humbled you.
It really did. I just shake my head. I'm fine.
Yeah.
So they asked me to bring the acceptance letter, and for about a month, let me take a decision.
Wow.
And then something happened. Everywhere I went, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make it this as a spiritual, but that was what was happening to me.
I like I'm a baho. Simply it has I didn't offer.
I had been say and me could die and I'm a son. It was so daunting.
Okay.
Say, I just couldn't control myself. Now, I saw for a preacher or bank hall. Well, bank near if I the other name, if Yakon or something like that. Now, Duncan Williams, I'm sorry, man.
Okay.
So what he did, he said, man, I'm sorry, so for Eba Bank will be preaching morning devotion, all the branches in. I don't know what I said to someone that say all the branches in Fidelity Bank, Ashen Chapel, I'm sorry, also for back and on bay devotion. Ain't he? Sunya there, Papa that there, and then every day we from the time I mean the letter. And I mean my way. And he kept saying, no, but every Wednesday. I think Wednesday is another day. Obi Oha, Yankopon person didn't hear Juma. And so man who kind
denominational.
Yeah, I mean there wasn't a single
right.
ABR Church of Christ to to talk about. When I sit in church and then I'm changing our church preaching, Ubu and Yankopon betim the night Juma pa. And it would make market and I'm in the street mom general preaching. That message kept coming to me.
Yes.
And I was like, what is happening? So I decided to say, baby, I'm in so preaching the anime for. Yeah, I mean, I honestly I never wanted to become a preacher.
Yes, I know.
No credit that one no okay. I never wanted to become a preacher. And you know, me decided to say, baby, I'm in for. And then still to one day be, and that I think that week, was the week they were expecting me to bring the letter. That was more like the final week.
Yes.
And then this man came, and preacher, I'm not coming somewhere. Ubia waha, ebiti ma ye rade juma mana ye, and then ubu ha, utimi so your sofo pa, and then so no. Onye na adwin say obey juma that branch guys now we need some Bible school. Sopon. I mean my code name was Sopon at the bank. Shadrack Oppong, so Oppong. Sopon. And was yes. Papa ka fefe or say ko bit my year rade juma fefe. And then he came on me and I was so mad and angry, and that day I was so angry. No, I don't know who they're not me go through
at yourself.
Well, maybe I have no idea. They're not me go through, but I knew I was angry.
Okay.
And I then decided to reply.
Wow.
Inwardly, I see a part of me wanted to preach, but a part of me didn't want to. But I guess the part I wanted to preach won. So
yes,
sir.
Yo, so
yep.
Now, you drew brow was a winner. Say, well, Baba, or some Pakeni. Who one of the challenges I will face as a young man, where a branch here, Ubabeli, one of the biggest congregations.
I mean, it's the biggest in Ghana.
Exactly, the biggest in Ghana. How a quite better sooner. Ofa so enya saa akukuduro ne ye. Secondly, say we are abofra because we are so for say now we are young.
Yeah,
you're still young.
I think I was 29 years. So.
Exactly. Yeah. 29 years and a minister.
I was entering my 30s.
Now Ubabe Lidi Asoria Esotisa.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges I will face here?
Well, Kofi, being a minister comes with its own challenges.
Yes.
And then there are a lot of challenges. Maybe I knew the challenges. And I knew that there were going to be serious challenges in the sense that before I made me now a lot of people are almost on road now minimum. I had already contacted them to sort their advice, whether I said member or not member. And all of them told me, say, I had a baby.
Wow.
Except one guy. So all of them, like, I remember some of them were like, oh, there be oh no, I feel now be run ministry, no, it's a compare church ketwa. Now we didn't free ho. So I say, and it made sense at that time. And this guy, a friend Dieter, Dieter Dweji, Dr. Obin, and Anna.
Okay.
Say, I don't think you have to go to a small church before you come in. We already know you and the things that you did when you were on campus. And you know, this is a place, and I know when you come, you can make a lot of impact. So he's the only person I meet Maka said, he really motivated me.
Yes.
In fact, I saw from penny for minimum cran, they were concerned, say, I am setting myself to failure.
Exactly.
Others, and I don't want to mention I saw for the but they all told me, no, you're too young for this.
Yes.
No. But I asked myself, say, then where? If I want to go into ministry, then this is the opportunity that I need to grab. But I said, and it means I'm cheap. Ain't he?
My question was, I'm Jose. I didn't free tafo. Not tafo edaho. La free tafo about Accra. Yeah, that was what I was asking.
You were asking that. I mean, well, at that time, not my interest had in Tafodona, it was no more.
Okay.
In Tafode, I knew someone like me could handle the work there, and I just didn't want to be the preacher there. Okay. So Tafode, I'm a free hop dada. Okay. At that time, I said, I'm Sunyani. So I was working at Sunyani. I went there on March. Me starting my June, I think 1st April. I think so. I think 1st April. Now, and a 6th April, me had 30 years. To me started in 6 days. Wow. And no, I think 1 month. I think we started in March. 1st March. And something like that. I don't remember, but I knew said me started 6 days. So that was 1st April. And then the 6 days was 6 April. I was 30 years. And the first challenge I faced was the fact that there were elderly people who were like 80 years, 70 years, 60 years, who were the elders. And you know, that there and then I want to say, oh, yeah, what I say, and you're going to work with these people, and you may disagree with certain things on Bay, and I'm a custom, and then you also think, say, it's not the best, biblically or maybe in terms of administration, because I had been exposed to a whole lot of things. Yes. In my short period before school and even after school, and now my age in the corporate world environment for about 7 places. And I had a whole lot of things I knew. Coupled with Tafo, Ejuma Bibriba, na Yadimi Romu, I knew a lot of things. But this was the time that I was going to display those knowledge or talent I want without working under someone. It's more like me and maybe. But here in this case, I'm going to be under the eldership and work with them. It was a big challenge. Sometimes they will see you say, "Wait, small boy." Yeah. They will not call you to discuss with you. That was the first challenge. And then the second challenge was my wife not working because honestly, we nursing school, we university, me worried. So she was working, she was in Kumasi. Yeah. She had to move to me. The next challenge was to settle.
Trying to find a job.
No, to even settle in Accra, because that was a certain so we had to really settle in Accra. That was the second thing. And the third thing was and yes, and I'm preaching that and my baba me new. So me free, it's more like right from school and I'm there. My boss said me manage church. So it was a whole lot of things. Okay. And there are a lot of people who really assisted. The preacher there, Martin Oppong, helped. Even though we had our disagreements on a lot of things, but I mean, he helped shape me
Okay.
in the work. And because we had about 4 preachers there, no,
Oh, I thought it was 3.
I was 3, but by then, no, it was more like 4, but officially 3 na na eye adwuma. And then Dr. Chumesi was more like Obam, but and yet always he was more focusing on the work as heritage.
I see.
It's, you know, 3 of us and a year, so you come to the office and you prepare lessons, you do a whole lot of things. So that was it. And then issue of doctrinal differences, where people think that way there, and then you also say that no, this is so it creates that, you know, variance, you know, among.
That was one of me. So what another thing I thought said you wouldn't fit in.
Oh well,
because knowing your background and where you came from, no. And
I think, sir, when I got there wasn't any serious doctrinal
issue
things. Not me disagree with the church.
Okay.
It came up. I mean, it didn't get to the church. It came up leadership where people
level
who think say you see and then some of them I said no.
Okay.
And many a thing, but I know I have my weaknesses in terms of a lot of things. But when it comes to doctrine, Bible, Christianity, I have my weakness in trying to, you know, stand on my grounds and say I do a memplane.
Okay.
Me versus microphone so near this when and so me obia me nipa mobile. So be mobile. It brings my weaknesses out. They mean the cry. So that's the biggest weakness I have. But they say they all try win. At that time we had differences and all that, but there's one thing I told myself, and that was it. What can I do in this church that when I leave, it'll still, you know, be with the church?
Okay.
And it's not about me; it's about the church.
Okay.
And that was what I always thought of. Say, then I meet me a year. Me friends on road, you know, decades, years upon years.
People were still remembering.
Not remembering me, but more like
it will be a part of it.
It will still be something that the church can use.
Okay.
So that was my focus.
And were you able to figure that out?
Yep. I did a couple of things.
Okay.
If he said,
which may I mention?
Yes, I mean, and then I knew said it was there was sometimes there were problems where if he said you go forward there, because okay, so Shadrack, and sometimes I'll hide behind people who push,
and then you push for it.
Who push for it, and then before I made Sound Road, Sound Road used to work at 2 radio stations, one at I'm trying to say Universe, and then one at Happy FM. And the Happy FM was more like a collaborated work. And then I tried, say, say, why don't you go to other places? And so on. I said, look, let's go. And then before I made Free Horror, now we had started Peace FM preaching. And if you preach on Peace FM, it goes the whole.
That's the biggest
station.
Believe,
So we're having Peace FM. Christian brother Barako on number suggested chairman. I mean, Costa na. Nyama doesn't worship there. Okay. Christian Abraham, I don't want to mention names. Okay. But he was there, and then he on me Ekoye, and then we work on it, and then we work on the TV station, on UTV TV, and then IT Sam, how can we go on social media. They were already on social media, but it was not
effective.
It wasn't effective, and it wasn't in the name of Insan Road.
Okay.
They call it church radio. And then I said, no, we need Insan Road Church of Christ. People should, because the name is already known.
Yeah.
What did I say? Mm-hmm. And so we started that. I think now they have about 5,000 followers on the Facebook page. And so you see, it's going to stay with the church. Yeah. And I push for Zoom platform and also the same way. And you see, it's always going to be difficult trying to bring new
ideas
in the church. But when you preacher, you do things it's not about you. What I say? It's about the members, it's about the church, it's about Christ. Until say, oh yeah, it could be say what the idea now, but can you even hide behind someone and push it? Do it, because it's not about you.
Yeah.
What I say?
Yeah.
So I tried. I know say I did my best in terms of church organization, not in leadership, but say they see organizing programs, say they see and near money. I tried.
Yeah.
Say me one, but it was really challenging. What do I say?
Okay.
It was really challenging. So I had my personal challenges with leadership. I had personal challenges with the work itself.
Okay.
And it wasn't easy.
It's not easy.
And I don't know, say, I don't know how it played out, but just think about you having a small family, like a growing family. Mm-hmm. Because maybe I didn't have a baby. Mm-hmm. Until I had to give birth.
Yes.
My whole three. The first one, the second one, third one, So the first and the second brought a lot of challenges and conflict between me and leadership because of so many things. And I think that it helped shape me and then shape leadership because I don't think now there have been a preacher ne yere nso ejuma ewo as a nurse and bibisa ontumi fa ne ba ne yeden enko. So I had to care for my kid, and then Odombo officer, why have you brought your kid to the office? And so you see,
I think that these things
it makes
just as a preacher there, you have a very flexible job.
And yes, sir, you have to also sometimes side with what the leadership also see. For me, it was a personal problem that I had.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle.
You're a corporate person.
And Obano so I won't even find a school. So what do you do? And then I didn't want this idea of sometime now. I say, to tell some family or yakola say we made the yakola be say you see so I didn't have the interest of
to do that.
Good. So OSR, you create more like a friction between you and leadership. One way you blame leadership unnecessarily, and then one way is so it will create some kind of problem between you and your marriage, and so these are some of the challenges that you have to endure when you work under a church like that, and then you learn from what they want you to do, and then you shape it because almost it's a lesson for them. So that next time we'll be back. Okay, we cry by no hano you say it's also about you see, and it's set as a precedent for.
Also,
yep.
Yeah, come what you train baby. Na answer na baby no. Yo, so yeah, baby, we say o mama nipa a shape life up till this point. Mama nipa 5. Our worshipful life. I mean, the Yenya or Sofo Shadrack Oppong our team.
Well, I think the first person, nipa 5 is all. I'm worshiping my doors.
Mama 5.
The first person I make us say he has really helped shape me. My mommy. In the sense that, I mean, Nisha and a single parent or Tete.
Yes.
So, me kai o kasa sometimes o kasa you be na I say, ah, that's how she do. Say, then no, be one on
the
kasa. Then I can say, and then with time, I think so. Can be like I say. No one says, I feel I'm a man. I first in there, I'm a and then now, bro, was I don't know. No, now I can't. I remember saying, my will tell you, say, okay, what? Won't you know to make into the bonnet? On from the no, what that. Now, over Cornwall, young crow, when him say, what damn? Oh, local, I shouldn't have. That's how we throw and then I think later my mom changed the strategy. And I was still be catching and say, so the strategy that she was using was enam. Inti obitwa oduane ama but enam na so. Inti udi bone a udi say ukọ a fufu amikodi and that time we did fufu a lot.
Yeah.
Fufu ukodi ye dey suffer so ikasa for a year so. Inti we dey David. I remember that my sister someone that saw the stream and said one day I said me yeah no ye nam no the cassette tea baby no the two and so and me buy me deal for me say want her if for that man medi on am how the tears so me jaro chance to go forward and so she really shaped us because as a single parent, you know, it was not easy on my bedroom and almost like all the people around us, you know, we call and they and so when I cast my mind back and look at how my mom was so straight on us and shaped us to become this, I really appreciate that. You know, or yeah, Edman. So the four, I will combine my sisters as one. They also played a meaningful role in my life. And then also for Polopon. Because he his teachings are tough, and then his guidance for us can be preachers. And then I remember say the futu or background be choose to become a preacher amana ye and then can about sorry no said the way preacher is still home until he taught us a whole lot of things. I remember one thing the other day no catches so your software mention and since I sorry my home now I don't know where we 3 years of I know that was one thing I remember very well. He telling us no we pursue a preacher say we say so it shaped me to becoming a preacher. And not only me, but all these young guys, you see them having interest in preaching, no, at Taforo. They have that at the back of their mind, how he shaped us. And then, I can say,
this is the fourth one.
4-1.
Preacher near Ted and on Tiaka 2.
Aka 2, okay. So the fourth one, is my wife.
Yes.
Because Sankrofom and I and Krofomo, I am, but my wife was like when I met her and worry, you know, she challenges me, what must I say? Because I never knew how more. I don't know how she does it, but Because see, they will be to my way. And everyone cry. I never thought of it. Said but she'll bring it up. Or my mom will be after friend me. Will be to my. And then they will ask me, and then okay, or this will be to my. So it's like you will try. And she shaped me.
Yes.
I remember when I started preaching, she'd be like, "Oh, I love the way message you. It was nice." Okay. But
critiquing you.
I somehow kind of any message you don't call. So why did you bring it in?
Okay.
And I'll cancel too much. Now I don't know what.
And that's what a lot of Church of Christ for you new side there no. I saw for you no.
Yeah.
Nearby, I saw about Ferris or Becca.
Yeah, I mean, Church of
Christ most the right person to
most Church of Christ members. Oh, Sophia does a pan in church. Sophia does a pan in church. But you see that alone in Shipuyen, because the point is that we are human beings and we are not perfect.
Yes.
And we need the criticism.
Yes.
You see that, and it has to do with a lot of Africans. We find it difficult to really tell you,
criticize people,
what you're doing and you're right. But my wife will shape you,
right.
will tell you, oh, how can you call? And then I know, say, sometimes I'll tell you are not a preacher. What's my say? Because I'm the preacher, you're not the preacher. So because she'll tell you, oh, how can I say that? I say, well, okay, and I don't know how can I say it.
You don't know the cool school.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, our wives are like that.
Yes,
so, Opa said, we try to say, I mean, why a message? Nufi said, this is good. And then she said, So it helps you. I work as a home farm. But I'll continue Bible so soon there. Over Kaiser, Hamiri can say, and then it shapes you. So, my wife. And then the last person who has really shaped me, I would say, sir, there's this man, I'm the firstborn, Mr. Kwamwa. Okay. He has shaped me in the sense that he has been my confinder. I confide in him, discuss with him, and then move. Sometimes I say, I wish I had never told him. Because they will be see, I can say, what they're now in a time. Because you see, you tell because if I will be a good school now, I'll preach up now. Oh, they may be a tell me there. Oh, I do go to there. So he's in the shaping of life, in marriages. I remember one time I said, you can show him, say, don't ever teach your wife how to drive. Wow. Don't ever teach your wife how to drive. In first instance, I didn't listen. But I tried to make sure me how to drive. We came back fighting that day.
But we can't say sleep. We papa, or try to make sure we catch you. Or we alone down with them.
Okay, I told you. So my wife, I mean, he told me that, say, hey, don't ever try to teach your wife how to drive. To me, call first, one by Nija them. Wow. And and I'm saying, hey, Rabba, or China, who could drive you school? Okay. So it's like that. I mean, if you have somebody like that who shape you, the other ones, church members, friends, some of them had really done me bad things, and that shaped you.
Even the negatives.
Exactly. It made me stronger.
Yeah.
Because I think, say, do baby one more, you think you're so much dependent on these people, they are friends, but obey you, BB, then you know, say, no, you cannot really trust man.
Yeah.
And then that alone will change your thinking towards people. Maybe you're putting so much trust in people.
Yeah.
And then my in-laws.
Okay. And your in-law is a minister as well, right?
Yeah, my in-law is a minister. Wow. So he will tell you, well, I mean, he's a man of, we call him a man of few words.
And that Ibrahim
Johnson.
Okay.
he will tell you, say, oh, you see, how it's all too, God will do it. You see, if I want any kind of encouragement, I know, say, oh, he now will call you and says, oh, and say, I wish I was like him.
Yeah.
But I don't think I will ever be like him because he's so cool, and then so down to earth, and Mary Johnson. So they have also helped, the entire family have also helped in shaping who I am. So basically, that is me.
Okay. And this is our first episode in T. Behind the pulpit, their daily lives. Name baby, free. T. Yes, stay tuned. Next episode, no so. Also, that's
yes, sir.
No, bye.
All right, Nisha.
All right.
Mm-hmm.